All right, how's it going, guys? David, Worldwide Golf Shops here at the Kingdom with Duane, one of the Kingdom reps here. Duane, seems like we're gonna be looking at the new P790s today. Awesome. Very excited. I think we've got maybe something that I can hit to get some numbers from what I have, and then we'll see the difference between these.
Perfect, perfect, love it.
Sounds great, awesome.
So I set up a golf club as similar to yours as I could get, C-Taper 130X and our P7MC, which is pretty comparable to what you described, 2 degrees flat, standard length. So at least we can start at a baseline and see where we're at here and also give us something to compare to.
Yeah, absolutely, sounds good.
Perfect.
All right.
So our target's gonna be that red flag right in the middle of the range.
Okay, cool.
Give us a nice target to shoot at and let's get some numbers.
Perfect.
You've been playing this setup for a while?
You know, it's funny, I recently switched shafts. I was basically playing an X1.
And why the C-Taper?
It felt a little more active to me, actually, which helped. I don't know if it's what I'm feeling, and I don't know if that's real, right?
Right.
But I do think that it was kind of helping me return a little bit more so I can get my start line a little more left.
Typical shot shape, that little draw?
That is what I'm hoping for, yes. I have been trying to work a fade into the bag. It seems like off the tee, I'm playing a fade, and that might be because I'm a little low and under and kind of coming in with the heel a little bit closer, at least with my longer clubs. So I'm getting a fade off the tee, and then I had basically only had a draw into the green, so it was kind of a weird zigzag.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out how to fade it a little bit with the irons, slowly but surely on that process.
How about a couple more for me, please?
Okay.
All right. Well, first thing I want to do is I want to put the new 790 on there.
Okay.
Same setup, just so we can see the difference in performance.
Right. What would I expect to feel switching off, you know, kind of a forged head here into something like the P790?
Well, the 790 is forged, which is fantastic. It's been a massive, successful product for us for a very long time.
Yeah,
that's why it's still in the line and we still are recreating it.
Of course.
Because it's a forged product that I've fit into anywhere from a 2 to a 20 handicap.
Yes.
You get the higher handicap players that need some help with the performance.
Right.
But they still want to play a forged golf club that looks nice.
Yeah, of course.
So it just hits a sweet spot. And then even some lower handicap players that maybe are losing distance and need some of that horsepower, you know, that a MC or an MB doesn't provide.
Right. That's exactly what I would imagine too from a club like this. I have noticed that there's such a wide range of players playing the P790, and maybe sometimes that's in the UDI shape or whatever it may be, but it just seems like there's so much distance.
Yeah, sometimes they need some pop in a 4 or 5 iron, you know, to close in some gaps, and so they'll throw the 790 in there.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's see the difference here. One of the biggest things we did in the new 790 is we literally kind of took every head and tried to maximize CG location and weighting for that specific shot. So they really kind of started from scratch almost from a weighting standpoint inside of the heads, using a lot of tungsten, and still have our speed foam in there that supports a really fast face. So there's just I explain to people it's a forged club that looks beautiful, that's a Ferrari for performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, I mean, it's still a nice, like, compact shape too. It's really, it doesn't get too oversized. I think maybe that's like one of the things that obviously a better player is going to look for is still, when using something like this, can you keep it compact? Can you keep it, you know, nice to look at? Only a little offset, not too much. It's kind of funny to see even maybe a little heavy of a strike and it still just launches.
Yes. Hey, wait, I want to show you something.
Okay.
I know it's one shot, but in a heavy shot, so that's why I want to show it to you. Just so you can see the forgiveness of the product. Your one longest best shot carried 171.
Okay.
That heavy shot carried 178. And the ball speed, 126 on the heavy shot, and it was 123.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about, is that Ferrari of performance.
Oh yeah.
And that forgiveness that we get out of a product like this.
Wow, that is crazy.
Now it's still launched at, let's see, 16 and 20, 6,200. It was only 300 RPMs less spin.
Wow.
So it's not like it was this rocket ship that isn't gonna stop.
Right. That's impressive.
Let's see a couple more.
Yeah, oh wow, that's very
Every
impressive.
once in a while I like to stop after one. Not I don't. but that was pretty telling.
I mean, let me try and get this one good here and see what that really looks like. Be a little thin.
That's where our the speed pocket down in the bottom there, that slot on the bottom of the sole.
Oh yeah.
So we incorporate that from the 7-iron up.
Okay.
The 8-9 wedge does not, but what that gives us is it's literally a cutout through the head that we fill with a polymer.
Okay.
But what that does is those thin shots like that maintain speed.
Okay. Oh yeah.
It's about speed because we get that thinner face in the bottom of the club.
Right.
So your ball speed on that thin shot was almost 129 on a thin shot.
Yeah. Wow. So
Yeah.
and from there, maintaining distance, obviously a little forgiveness too at that point. Wow. Okay. And after feeling that, I mean, how valuable it is too. Like just so, and I would say comforting on the mind, right? A little more confidence that even if I get it a little thin, it's still gonna go that number that I'd hope for.
Yeah. Yeah, the carry number was not too far off.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a good
That sounded like a good strike.
Yep, that was a good one. Wow, I can see the distance downrange too. That is.
Yeah, that was.
I love the laugh. Yeah.
That was.
It's a good
out
laugh.
there.
Okay. What did that look like?
That was 131 ball speed.
Okay.
What I like is that that was 185 carry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so now we're 15 yards longer than your longest. But what's interesting, we start looking at a small sampling here so far, but so far the ball speed's 5 miles an hour faster.
Yep.
Little lower launch.
Okay.
Obviously less spin, but you're still spinning at 6,500, which is
Right about
pretty
where,
good.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets interesting, because a lot of times in a product like this, people are like, oh, you just strengthen the lofts and that's what's making it go farther. And the reality is that is true. We are strengthening the lofts, but we're also positioning the center of gravity low to kick that ball straight up in the air.
Right. Get the height.
So if we look at the peak height, this one actually is averaging 5 feet higher.
Okay.
And coming down at the same landing angle.
So it's still stopping.
So it's still going to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the gain is over this average here is 14 yards more carry. And the carry is what I care about on a 7-iron.
Yeah, of course.
That's, if we're, people are, what's the difference between golf clubs? That's the same shaft, same lie angle setting.
Yep.
So now we're really isolating the difference between a muscle cavity and a 790.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's massive.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, a club and a half longer, right? I mean, that's, wow. It feels just like I'd want it to, especially from playing something, forged. So to still have it forged, to get the added performance, I mean, that is.
Yeah, what's interesting is even though this loft is so much stronger, you still spun that at 6,500, which is very acceptable for a 7-iron.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess how much stronger is the loft?
Let's see, 7-irons, probably at 3 degrees.
Okay, yep. And that's kind of, I guess, for this profile of club, maybe what we would expect anyway.
Exactly, like I said, it's, I'm not afraid to tell somebody we strengthen the lofts, but what they don't understand is we designed the head. I didn't just take a 7-iron and make it a 6-iron.
Right.
So now it's going to be lower with less spin and not going to stop.
Right, yeah.
No, we designed the head to still perform like a 7-iron trajectory and still stop with that added.
And is this a hollow body construction or?
Yeah, so there's hollow construction. We fill it with speed foam.
Yep.
What that does, that foam inside supports a very thin, very fast face. That's where we get all this ball speed, because your head speed has not changed.
Right.
Your head speed.
And I certainly don't think I swing it all that fast.
Yeah, plenty of, your head speed's within a mile an hour, but the ball speed is 6 miles an hour faster.
Okay, wow.
That's, yeah.
That's amazing.
Thin shot.
Yeah, a little thin.
Love it. Be interesting to see what this one did. It's kind of nice. We don't have any wind today, so you can actually see.
Yeah, the truth really, right?
Yep.
I mean that, even just
that
like
thin shot.
the shape still stayed fine. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was, again, trying to get that fade in the bag and seeing that's really not running off all that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the other kind of, I think, misconception people have is that because we made it forgiving, you can't work the ball. And the reality is you can still work the ball.
Absolutely, yeah.
Up, down, right, left.
Yeah, I don't feel like I, you know, couldn't by any means. It seems like if I try and turn one over, let's see kind of how that might feel. A little thin again. Really, again, not moving all that far off. Probably high spin, I'd expect.
6,800.
So really not at all.
Right, with the MC that would, well actually I've got an MC shot that's similar to that, and they're up in the 70, well, one of those was 8,500.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's another, right? Another big difference. All right, now tell you what, I've got an idea. I'm gonna go put something together here from what you're showing me.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, sounds good.
I want you to try this for me, please.
Okay.
A little different setup from a shaft standpoint.
Okay. Gonna keep me in the dark a little bit too?
Yes, please.
All right.
I want fair swings.
All right.
No preconceptions.
It is kind of funny how that will happen, right?
Absolutely.
That felt pretty good. I might have left the face open just a touch, but
Okay.
that felt good. Felt like strike was still pretty center there, maybe slightly close to heel. And that's actually, I would say, a nice, if that was accurate, I can feel it, right? It's maybe sometimes on these irons you don't feel as much and kind of lose where you're hitting the ball.
Yeah.
I like to feel it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that feedback's important.
Yeah, 100%. I really do like to, I want to feel that because I think that's how I'm actually going to improve my swing.
Sure.
Right? I don't want to be disguised too much.
You don't want to have to look down and wonder where you hit it on the face.
Yes, yeah.
There's your little cut.
Yep, that felt really good. Cutting back in nice. Even then, maybe a touch open on the face, but that actually still felt solid.
Okay, let me see that one.
Okay.
Try something a little different here. All right, now that one, please.
All right. Again, little mystery.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if you're in the right shaft.
Okay. I actually love getting all of the different opinions too.
Sure.
Thinking like I obviously this game is kind of like chasing perfection in a way, so it's like whatever. I am open to anything, whatever helps.
Oh wow, that sounded good.
Yeah, that sounded really nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A lot easier for you to cut.
Yep.
And it's not over. I mean, it's just pretty straight, but it's falling right.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much starting on the line that I think I'm picking at least.
Right. Wow, 3 in a row.
Yep. Hard to argue with that.
Well, one thing, I just saw the ball do the same thing 3 times in a row, and also the contact 3 times in a row.
The sound and yeah.
Could tell by the sound, just the better contact.
Am I allowed to look?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
oh yeah.
what you're playing is on an extreme, right? The stiffest thing on the block.
Yeah.
I mean, and from looking at your tendencies, you have kind of a later release.
Yep.
And then you're at it at the ball. Well, those types of tendencies, what I found do better with a shaft that has some play to it. It's more of a, you've already made the comments today, it's more of a timing, tempo, feel player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, C-Taper 130X is taking all that out of your hands.
It really is.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first one I had you try was the KBS 130X.
Yep.
So same guy designed both shafts. So trying to get some familiarity there, but try to give you some feel back.
Right.
So, you were having a hard time knowing where the face was.
Yep.
You weren't hitting it solid.
Yeah, I'm feeling more of the shaft rather than the head, right?
Here, now we go Modus 120, which is, so the steps are what gives it flex, right?
Right.
So now we're giving you some feel up top, but
Okay.
a very stiff profile on the tip.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
look where that first step is.
Yep.
The bottom of that
High,
shaft is
yeah.
really stiff. So I'm giving you kind of the best of both worlds here, that
Interesting.
kind of tighter shaft you've been used to,
Yep.
but giving you some feel back.
Okay.
And all of a sudden we hear the middle of the face 3 times.
Yeah, yes we did. What does spin look like on this one here?
Here, let's look at it. Well, let's hit one more, and then
Okay.
we'll get a little average. 4 in a row, right?
Might have just found it.
Well, at the end of the day, if we have something in our hands that's fighting our tendencies, we're timing critical.
Right.
It's not that you can't hit a good shot with that golf club, but
Sure.
the timing has to be just right.
Right.
And that's kind of what I was seeing with the 130 in your hands.
Okay.
Actually, you can see it here visually. You know, the red is the 130 in the 790,
Yep.
the purple is the KBS 130, and then here is the Modus 120.
Yeah.
So that's what I was chasing, with center of the face and direction. I mean, my first goal for you is that pin.
Yep.
6,500, right?
Yep.
6,600.
Wow.
Same launch, faster, 133, 128.
Much faster.
Much faster.
And maybe, I guess, with the head that I've chosen to play in my current set, maybe that spin number with the C30 is slightly helping bring it down. Maybe not much.
Actually, that's where it gets interesting. That,
Of course.
you know, the C-taper, let's see it compared to the KBS. Yeah, similar. I would say, I mean, they're very similar spin rates.
Sure.
And it's actually, now we get that peak height to 103.
Oh, yeah.
And down at 49.
Yeah,
so now we're getting that gain of carry, but it's going to stop.
Yeah, like 5 extra
185.
carry. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. That's what I would put you in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's for me, from a shaft fitting, let's find something that's working into your tendencies. And that's kind of this video that I took here. What I'm looking at is kind of when you release and how you release.
Yep.
So here we're holding our angle still. So
Yep,
there's that
holding it.
release, is pass parallel.
Yep.
So that's a late release. Now watch this right hand and this snap
Yep,
through.
it does, yeah.
Well, late release fast rotation generally is a feel player.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was the first, I don't want to say red flag, but
Yeah, absolutely.
between a C-taper 130
Right.
with a feel player.
Of course, yeah.
So the stuff I brought out here was trying to just bring in some feel back into it.
Oh, that's perfect. And I mean, obviously it did right away, 4 in a row. Can't hurt that by
In
any
the
means.
middle of the face.
Yeah, love that.
That's my recommendation.
All right, awesome.
Love it.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
just
5 in a row in the middle of the club face.
Yeah, feels great. Like you said, kind of the tempo and feel of my swing matches up.
Just giving you some feel back,
100%. Yeah.
you know. And there's players that you know, these stronger profiles are great for.
Right.
You know, and so I think it's important to go get fit.
Yeah. we certainly can't say enough to, especially after, you know, seeing the changes that we made today, thinking, you know, got a fitting recently, thinking that might have been the setup to now come here and not what I would have expected, but to see the performance. I mean, and the forgiveness and everything that goes into it, that's exactly why you do what you do and why we love to, you know, do what we do at Worldwide Golf Shops. Again, just can't express the importance of fitting. So we just wrapped up our fitting. What happened here? What did we do?
So basically, for me, fundamentally, fitting is identifying tendencies. And let's make sure the products are working into and helping your tendencies, not fighting them. And just saw some red flags with your current setup, timing critical, fighting tendencies, comments of feel. Well, we're playing a shaft that doesn't have a lot of feel to it. So just getting you into a tighter profile shaft with some feel. And all of a sudden we heard the middle of the face 5 times in a row.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely. It felt good.
Then we get the benefit of all that forgiveness to 790.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's so crucial, guys. I mean, guys, we can't express, you know, enough the importance of custom fitting.
Absolutely.
To be able to do it out here is great, but even then, be sure to stop in at your local Worldwide Golf Shops retail location. Get fit for the new TaylorMade P790 irons. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.